Ange Postecoglou is about to make history because for the first time on the Son of Scotland TV channel we're going to be doing 5 reasons why, and today's video is 5 reasons why Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou sucks. So let's go. Reason number 1, probably the most important reason, in the words of Scott Steiner, he's fat.
He's fat!
There you see it, guys. He is fat. There's no denying it. He's obese. He's overweight. He needs to lay off the fucking cheese. Reason number 2, he looks scruffy. He looks untidy. There's just no two ways about it. I look at this guy and I don't think employed manager of Celtic, decent wage, etc. I think unemployed, lazy, benefits scrounging bum. I mean, in the morning, most people roll out of bed and jump into the shower. This guy looks like he rolls at his sister's hole and immediately begins to climb through the swamp on his way to Celtic Park. So he needs to tidy up a wee bit, man. He looks rough. You know, try wearing a suit once in a while, mate. It might make you look a wee bit more respectable. Reason number 3, he's got an Asian fetish. But here, I can relate, that's nothing to be ashamed of, but Ange's problem is he likes Asian men. It's a little bit gay. He keeps signing men from the continent of Asia, whether it be Kyogo, Maeda, Hatate, Itaguchi, Kobayashi, the new guy from Japan that he signed. He's looking at South Korean players as well. He likes Aaron Moy, and Australia's close enough to Asia, right, mate? So he's got an Asian fetish. Now, it's one thing if he likes men, that's pretty gay. But let's just hope he doesn't like Asian boys. But going on Celtic football's club history, you never really know. Reason number 4, his Champions League record absolutely sucks, man. He played 6 games, got 2 draws, 4 defeats. Now, I will give him a bit of credit. I thought performances, they done alright. Some of the performances were good. Some of the performances actually deserved better results than they got. But at the end of the day, he lost 4 games, and the only 2 games he drew were against a team that's part of a scam war. Well, not part of a scam war, but their country's involved in a war. So they've lost half their players. They've lost most of their players. The point is, this is not the Shakhtar Donetsk that we know of in recent years. The last 2 decades, we've seen Shakhtar Donetsk be a very good side with lots of Brazilian players, lots of quality players. They don't really have that anymore. They've got Mudryk and, you know, a bunch of fucking bums. So Celtic should have done better. Celtic should have at least finished 3rd in that group. Look at Rangers. They beat Red Bull Leipzig, but Celtic couldn't. So Celtic need to do better in that aspect. Champions League, horrendous statistics. And I think the only reason it's not called out more is because Rangers were, like, awful. And they've got the worst, Rangers have the worst Champions League record in history, so you can't dispute it. Rangers were fucking dreadful. But I believe if Rangers were not in the Champions League this year, or if Rangers actually picked up a couple of wins in the Champions League this year, Ange would have came under a lot more criticism for his performances in the Champions League. But because Rangers were dreadful and Celtic did slightly better than Rangers, well, they did a lot better, but they still did shit. That's my point. But because they did better than Rangers, I think his Champions League failure was overlooked. And speaking of Rangers, let's move on to the 5th and final reason. Ange wanted to be the Rangers manager first. He wanted the Rangers job back in 2017 when they got rid of Pedro. You talk about crap managers, he was one of them. But Ange wanted the Rangers job, but he had to settle for Celtic. This is kind of like, you know, being interested. You're interested in getting with this hot chick, but she's not interested in you. So in the end, you have to settle for her fat, less attractive sister. And that's what Ange did here. You know, he wanted to be manager of the most successful club in Scotland. They didn't want him. They chose Gerrard, and therefore Ange had to settle for the other team in Glasgow, the green team in Glasgow. So there you go, guys. There is 5 reasons why Ange Postecoglou absolutely sucks. But before anyone freaks out, or before anyone gets their panties in a twist, I actually like Ange Postecoglou. I think he's a decent manager. In fact, I think he's a very good manager. And everything I said here was a joke, borderline joke. Apart from the fact that Celtic touch kids, that's real. No matter if you joke about it or not, that's 100% real. But you know what? Ange is actually a pretty cool guy. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Big Ange Postecoglou. Till next time, though, he sucks. Peace.